Hey, it's your friend Jason here with an absolute banger installment of 4 Web Devs, 1 App Idea. If you haven't seen the show before, here are the rules. We get 4 web devs. Each of them is going to get a prompt, and we all have to build our own version of an app. We also get a tool or piece of tech that we have to include as part of our build. So today's prompt was heavily requested. A lot of y'all wanted to see this. Build a multiplayer real-time app that is not a chat app, or, because we invited Steve Ruiz, the creator of TL Draw, not a drawing app. Each app needs to include PartyKit, who made this episode possible. I invited my friends Steve Ruiz, Zeu, and Nick Taylor all to join in on the fun. Look, these apps blew my mind, and once you see them, I think you'll agree. If you do, make sure you leave a comment and let us know. With that, let's take a look at the first app.
I used to play piano when I was younger, so I was like, why don't I make a collaborative piano? So I decided to call it Collabiano, which I don't know if that's some kind of pasta, but it's now my domain I've registered. So essentially, it's multiplayer, so you can play the piano together. I initially wanted to do like all the octaves, but that's like 88 keys, and I had to map all the sounds and stuff. So I figured, given our time frame, I was like, I'm just gonna do 1 octave, so it's the C major octave. But I built this out in Astro. Pretty much an Astro component, which looks pretty much like just HTML here. I do have a layout component in the piano room. It's another Astro page here, but I'm using React for the interactivity. So that's where we've got the island loading here. So I've just used TypeScript to type a lot of things. So like you can only have the notes that I allow and so on. And there's other type checking in there. Aside from that, there's just a few components here, like which is the messages. So as you play, the notes will get sent out to everybody. The cool thing is you play a key. If you're in the room, you're going to hear it. I created some keyboard shortcuts. So if you press the letter A, it plays C major and stuff. You can definitely click with the mouse on the keyboard, but I was like, how do I do chords? So you can't do chords with a mouse, as far as I know. And that's kind of it. In here, you can see I can start. I don't know if anybody's hearing that, but yeah. Okay, so now I've unlocked the boop theme. I can switch to here, and now boop, 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 boop. Add a little pizzazz, as they say.
Are you on your dev server? Because I see your...
Oh, shoot. Yeah. So we're gonna... Okay. Yeah, the punk one, it's probably pretty dark. I'm hoping for a corgi with a mohawk, but we'll see. I popped this part in, but I know that PartyKit released a AI component very recently, like a few days ago. I took a quick peek at it, but I didn't have time to implement that. And there we go. That is punk. I saved a bunch because they were just so good. Yeah, that's essentially it. It's been a lot of fun. Just
The part that I thought was really interesting about this is like, if you told me that I had to build a collaborative piano app, I would assume a lot of things about it. And most of them would make me think it's too hard to do. And what I thought was really cool here is that you're sending the name of a note, and that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
And then the audio API that's built into the browser is what's playing that note. But there's not like magic. You're not dealing with like waveforms, you're not generating notes, you're not dealing with like any of the stuff that in my brain I would immediately think is like, I don't know how to do any of that, right? So I would just sort of close down on it and say, this is probably a little more ambitious than I can manage. What you're doing here is, this is maybe like 20 lines of code to get a note that I've pressed on my keyboard to translate over into a sound played on your computer. That's really cool stuff.
The big thing is I'm just leveraging what's on the web for the most part. Like the audio API is pretty dang simple. Like I just have an assets folder here, and then you have the sounds, and so like there's a boop theme and stuff, and they're just all in here.
So this here, like this code, the 131 to 143, that's all of the audio?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, how freaking cool is it that and you didn't have to load a library or anything for that. You just built this with built-in browser features.
Can I see I saw that there was like a type that you made for the notes?
It's just a union type of the notes that are allowed. This will basically prevent you from putting a wrong note.
Is that a ternary to make a type?
Oh, yeah.
This is a more advanced type.
It's
using inference in TypeScript.
Kickflip. Kickflip in TypeScript.
Yeah. So the TLDR here is it's saying, okay, if I find the sharp symbol or the pound symbol, I want to rewrite this. It's for a file name. So I'm saying rename that to the note like C4. And then instead of the pound symbol, change it to dash sharp. and then just put the rest there. Otherwise, if I don't find a sharp, just lowercase it to what the current value is. I was just having some fun in here, so I was like, let's do some advanced TypeScript as well.
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I have this wonderful extension that allows me to have a whiteboard inside of my VS Code here. So we'll.
What did we say about drawing apps, Steve?
Yeah.
I made this on my own time. Okay. The code kind of works like this. We have our client, and then we have our server, which is running on PartyKit. I borrowed some code from TealDraw also for like some of the signals and state management stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. There's like the React app, and that sends in like events, like when you click your mouse and move your mouse around. And then we have this sort of game instance that is using those events to like update its state. The app is like consuming those changes and rendering them. But also as things are changing inside of the store of records, which are being updated, like when you're moving things around, that's kind of like chucking off diffs. The server uses those diffs, as we'll see, to update its kind of store of records. And then on its own tick, which is something like every 50 milliseconds, it sends updates to all the clients. There's only like 4 different types of things. There's a player. Some of those players are human players. Some of them are bots. Yeah, all right. Shitty game AI. No LLMs, right? There's snowballs. There are kills. Whatever. It's a little heavy of a term, but to count that someone's been eliminated. And then we have like just piles of snow that block snowballs. So the app is snowcraft.app, and I'm controlling a little guy around here, moving him around, and these are all bots. And so all the changes are coming in from like the bots. We're throwing snowballs. It should be pretty good about like hits. And since I joined the server first, the Cloudflare worker is based in London. So I have 13 milliseconds of lag, as you can see kind of in the bottom right-hand corner, but you probably have more. I'm curious, what latency are you guys seeing, by the way?
I'm at 167.
It's not terrible. And you see the little kills being displayed up in the top right corner. So let's look at how this works. In terms of the React app, it's pretty straightforward. Again, most of the kind of the brains of what's happening, the state management, is inside of this like game class, including like the store here. Basically, it just handles events from the not the canvas. Sorry, it's not a drawing app. It handles events from the Snowball field or whatever the game. This is our little player record here. It has a name, it has when it's created, its team, green or red, its health. I keep track of whether this player is like an AI or not, because that really matters on the server. And then we have position, how fast it is, also its player state. So the player's state can be in one of these, can either be idle, moving, waiting, which is really only for AIs. Aiming is kind of where it like has its arm cocked back. It's like building up this throwing power. There's a throwing state, which kind of like freezes the player after they've thrown. And then there's also like a response state called like hit. So like that guy was just hit, when you get hit by a snowball, or there's also dead when you got hit by too many snowballs. And the position between where the ball is on the server and the client are essentially the same. They're both running that same move ball code based on the same starting parameters. When we detect hits, we're kind of looking at where it was and where it was before, and then checking to see if there's anything like a player or a snowball pile where the distance to this line is close enough. Because if we were only checking here and we were only checking here, like the actual position of it, we might miss something.
The suggested time investment was 4 hours. Was this a 4-hour build?
So I think the initial setup was actually really, really, really fast. Is that like, in order to sync the two states or whatever and send messages back and forth was like super fast. We did this over the holidays, so this was my holiday coding as well. All of that extra time, taking out the stuff that we didn't have to tell the server about, and taking out the stuff that we didn't have to tell the client about. So it's actually like reducing the dependency between the server and the client. And then there was like, let's put some health in here. Let's introduce not just hits, but like the idea of like wasting each other.
I just hit Zayu in the face with a bus snowball.
You're all the way in the back. It's hard to hit you.
I am truthfully like blown away by how much this does. and like how cool this feels. And knowing that this is all built on web tech. This isn't a game engine. This isn't anything like, non-standard. This is WebSockets and JavaScript, and it's just doing all of this. That's extremely cool.
I find this project really cool too because, I mean, obviously it's a fun game. Like I can't stop throwing snowballs, but I could totally see yourself or somebody abstracting away all the gaming primitives out of here to just basically make a real-time, lightweight web gaming engine.
I had a lot of fun making this. Blunt force netcode.
Blunt force is a great way to describe source code. I like that a lot.
The app that I made for today is called Typer99.
I'm immediately intimidated by your use of Vim.
It's pretty though, right?
It's great.
Typer99 is a multiplayer type racing game. So if you've done Type Racer or like Monkey Type, it's that type of dealio. But of course, since we're using PartyKit, it's multiplayer, and I've added in some like power-ups and stuff so that, you could mess with other people while you're trying to type. And it's basically how accurate are you and how fast are you? If you're like the fastest, you get bonus points, but obviously you want to make sure you're as accurate as you can, especially since other people will try and screw you over. The cool thing is I'm using SvelteKit. I managed to do this in 2 files. The target string, which is like what everyone is trying to type, that's from the server. And then as you're typing here, we bind that value to this user string. And then we could go through each letter of the target string and say, hey, is the user correct or not even there yet? Or is it wrong? We could change that to a green, a gray, or a red letter so that you know what you're getting wrong or what you're getting right. And then here we have the 2 buttons that activates the bomb that sends stuff to the server. And we also have a rocket. So in terms of game mechanics, it's just a type racing game except for 2 power-ups. The bomb, which everyone else will be returned 10 letters back. And the rocket puts yourself 10 letters up. That's pretty much it. Fairly straightforward. In terms of styling, it's pretty much Commodore 64 themed. It's very reminiscent of like, old terminals and stuff. Very cute. Everyone ready? Okay, so after 5 seconds, it should start going. And go.
I'm a horrible typer.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use a bomb.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh no! Oh no! Use the rocket if you want to go
out
forward.
About stuff, but this is stressing me out.
That's how you know it's competitive.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no!
God.
Oh no!
How do you use the bomb?
You gotta use your mouse. It's a yeah.
Okay, I can see this quickly becoming addictive.
Well,
Oh man.
I'm just going straight. I'm not even.
Oh,
No.
God damn it.
I got bombed.
Whoa!
No!
I just
Ah!
Oh, I can still use bombs,
Come on.
No!
even though I'm done.
Okay, I'm done. Woo! Oh no, I don't know why it says 0 for Nick, but you can see there's the scores.
Trying to focus on typing, and then you're suddenly in a different place, but then you also have to like take your focus off of typing long enough to bomb somebody else. Absolute chaos.
There's a lot of quality of life stuff that we could definitely change here. So
This had a lot of like, oh yeah, I know these, I'm familiar with these, and then the chaos of multiple people playing at the same time. I didn't expect that to be as much fun as it was.
it's made live. It's also open sourced as well. I'll probably spruce this up a little bit more after this just to make it look a little bit more pretty, add some of that quality of life stuff. So I'll probably be coding this more on stream as well.
There are things that I've wanted to do that when I saw what y'all built, I was like, oh wait, if somebody could sabotage me while I'm typing, then this idea that I have is suddenly viable. Super pumped about this because it gives so many cool opportunities out there. For me, one of the things that I find really exciting about real time is that it actually opens up these ideas for collaborating in person, but using your devices. And the first thing that I thought of is when you play games like Fortnite, they occasionally do this idea of like multiplayer loot chests. And you can't open it by yourself. You can only open it if the rest of your team comes and helps you. And so I started thinking about, well, what if we were like at a conference or something and you could get a discount code or unlock a piece of swag or something, but only if you could get other people at the conference to come and like do this thing with you. And so that's sort of the basis of what I built. A discount code you unlock by holding a button, but other people have to hold down the button at the same time on a different device in order to fully unlock the discount. So I have these rubber corgi ducks that I made. This is a real discount code too. So like when we unlock this, everybody who is watching will be able to buy one if they want to. What we're doing is we're looking at the mouse down. When you click and hold, it starts doing this thing, and then that runs on an interval. We have a maximum amount each person can do, which in this case is 25%. Once you've gotten enough people to click, then we send this unlock, which shows the hidden piece and hides the click piece. And on the server side, this is I probably should have put this into an environment variable or something, but I didn't. So, but then this is what actually gets sent. So we send off the unlocks. And then when we flip back over here, the unlocks, when we get one, it's way easier to just keep each person in this unlocks map and then just run a quick loop, because it's only 4 people. Like I'm not adding a lot of performance overhead this way. And it really simplified my math. So that's the core of the code. What it actually looks like is this here. And so the URL for it is team-discount.lwj.dev. And then so it keeps a little counter of who's online. And then as each of us holds, you can see that it's counting up. Okay. And then if I stop holding, it'll max out here where it's kind of counting down, and then it gets stuck. So then if we all start holding again, we get our little animation and it keeps ticking up, and there we go. And
almost there.
There we go. We did it, right? My thinking for this was like, I would love for something like this to exist at a conference or at a festival where you hide little QR codes around the event, and if you find one, it would take you to like a different PartyKit room, and then you'd have to get other people to join that room, tickets to the after party or a discount on a meal or whatever it is, right?
This is a great icebreaker. Like I'm pretty extroverted, so I can go up to a random person and say, hey, what's up? But I know not everybody's like that.
So I think this definitely has like a lot of like business potential.
When it's more fun to play with friends, you're more likely to share it. So if businesses invest in this sort of thing, then it becomes like a part of the thing that feeds something going viral. I think we want to share, we want to play, we want to show our friends. What I'm excited about is that like when I plug in PartyKit, I didn't have to think about any of that. Like I'm not thinking about networks, I'm not thinking about reconnect, I'm not thinking about keeping connections alive or deduping them. I'm just sort of treating it like I would any other state management tool. Sending a piece of data from here to there, and it feels the same as it does on anything else. Anybody who can write a little bit of JavaScript now can go build something really cool with multiplayer, and I'm really, really hopeful that we see a lot more of it.
I look forward to redeeming my code on the on Jason.
Yeah.
Here's what this discount code will get you. Look at this little friend that you can get. This could be you. You have the opportunity to become this person. And that'll also make Marissa, my wife, very happy, because I have like 900 of these, and it would be great to not have quite so many of them.
Minimum order? Yeah.
Hey, you as a viewer can get 2 corgis for the price of 1.
Hey.
That's right. 2 for 1 corgis. Yeah. That is a much better way of phrasing. It's not 50% off. It's 2 for 1. Go get 2 corgis, everyone. As always, source code and demos are linked in the description below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends, because that's what makes it possible for me to make more of these videos. And don't forget to let me know what you want to see us build next in the comments. Thanks again to PartyKit for sponsoring. And if you want to see more from this wonderful, creative web dev community, watch this one next, because it is a whole lot of fun. Thanks for watching, friends. Happy building.